Very busy today. No time to help you.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all their memories, their emotions, even their skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses.
Hey everyone, Smiling Reviewer here, and today we are talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once. And before I get into this video, yes, this is totally my first review of 2022. This year just ended up being a bit busier than I expected with my studies, and there were some movies that I wanted to review and I wrote reviews for, such as Spider-Man No Way Home, No Time to Die, and Dune. But ultimately, I just never found the time to actually film and edit those reviews. But long story short, I absolutely bloody loved all three of those movies. And despite loving all three of those movies, holy shit, Everything Everywhere All at Once was just a movie that I wanted to talk about so bad, and I had to make a review on it. Before I get started, this is an incredible movie to go into blind, so if you don't need convincing, go and watch this movie right now and don't look up anything about it, and I'm confident you would at the very least enjoy its originality, and it's also just a very fun movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a pretty hard movie to describe. It's a high concept action comedy drama from A24 Studios and the directing duo The Daniels, and is about a Chinese American woman named Evelyn who is caught up in the machinations of a mundane life before suddenly realizing she might be the only hope to save not just our universe but the entire multiverse. So yeah, insanely wacky storyline, but holy shit, I'm in disbelief at how much I enjoyed this movie. This is the most ambitious, most original, and most fun movie I've seen in a really long time. Everything Everywhere All at Once stars Michelle Yeoh as our main character Evelyn, and if you've watched other reviews on my channel such as Gunpowder Milkshake or Shang-Chi, then you've already heard me sing this woman's praises, and she's absolutely incredible in this film, and I was so happy to see her in a leading role. This movie might honestly be the performance of her career. She absolutely shines as this character and all the different versions of her character when the multiverse aspect comes in. But when she plays Evelyn, you feel the weight and struggle of the everyday working class mother on her shoulders. A woman who has given up on certain hopes and ambitions but is just trying to get along. The funny scenes she nails, the action scenes she nails, the emotional scenes she fucking nails. This woman really can do no wrong in my eyes. Honestly, all of the cast did a fantastic job and shined in their own respect. It was fantastic to see Jonathan Kwan as Wayman, Evelyn's husband, in this movie. I literally have not seen this man since he was a child as Short Round in Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom and Data in The Goonies, and man, oh man, what an absolute comeback. He was so bloody good in this movie. His performance easily could have come off as too silly at times in this movie, but he treads that line perfectly and played all of his roles fantastically. It was such a joy whenever he was on screen, and he got some great laughs, and I hope to see Jonathan Kwan in future films now. Stephanie Hsu as Joy, Evelyn and Wayman's daughter, also gave an unexpectedly emotional performance that really impressed me. She's basically the emotional crux of this movie, and the way they navigated her relationship with her mother was just truly real and beautiful, and I think her character will really resonate with anyone who grew up with overbearing parents for whatever reason. James Hong and Jamie Lee Curtis were also both fantastic in their smaller roles. But yeah, this movie, my god, it was just such a fun, exhilarating ride where you truly never knew what was coming next. But it also explores these ideas of purpose and nihilism in such a profound way that I also really wasn't expecting. Me and a friend who I saw this with, the entire car ride home, me and her got into such an in-depth discussion about the movie's message and the philosophies it drew upon. And as pretentious as that probably sounds, just like the fact that we were able to discuss all that for so long, especially from a movie that was so entertaining and made us laugh so much from its absurdity, is genuinely so impressive to me, because it's usually one or the other. I've never seen a movie balance so many tones so effectively and also nail all of them. This truly is an ambitious movie, There are so many places this movie could have gone wrong, like telling a story of this scope and going to these levels of absurdity while still trying to keep the story and emotions at the forefront. It is actually amazing that they pulled this off. This movie is a comedy, an action, a romance, a drama, a sci-fi. Fuck, it literally had everything. And in my opinion, it didn't half-ass a single aspect. The action, incredible. All the action scenes were so creative and so well choreographed and just so much fun. And the comedy, fuck, I honestly haven't laughed in a cinema this much in a while. This was a movie that really reminded me why I love the cinema experience. Everyone in my packed IMAX theater was laughing at the absurdity of this movie together, and it truly was such a fun experience that felt like it was made to be watched with a crowd. So if you are in a position where you can go to a cinema and watch this with a crowd, I would honestly highly recommend it. This movie is really weird, by the way, and at first it's a tiny bit jarring if you don't know what to expect. But it becomes so fun and imaginative that at some point you're just strapped in for the ride, waiting to see what the next thing the movie is going to throw at you. One of my favorite scenes in this movie, without any spoilers, was a fight scene involving butt plugs. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the level of weird and hilarious we're going for. And God, it's great. And I'm dying to watch this movie just over and over again. There's an absurd amount of scenes that could be labeled as my favorite scene. The cinematography was so impressive too. I loved how each universe almost had its own style of cinematography, drawing inspiration from so many things such as old martial arts films, and definitely influences from Chinese filmmakers like Wong Kar-wai in there too. And man, this movie really hinged on the editing, especially with so many sequences occurring at the same time. The editing truly was going to make or break this movie, and it absolutely made this movie. I'm still in awe at how well edited the sequences in this movie are, and I can only imagine the headache it must have been. All in all, this movie felt like the perfect movie for me. Not saying it is a perfect movie objectively, of course, but specifically for me, it felt like the perfect movie. It just ticked every single box I could ever want in a movie. Absolutely entertaining and funny? Check. Embracing originality and absurdity? Check. Impressive martial arts fight scenes? Check. Creative use of cinematography and editing? Check. A deeply profound and relatable message? Check. And last but not least, Michelle fucking Yeoh? Check. The fact that this movie is founded on Chinese culture that I could relate to is just the absolute cherry on top. This movie had everything. If you couldn't figure it out by now, Everything Everywhere All at Once gets a 10 out of 10 from me. I truly think this movie is going to be a movie that inspires the new generation of filmmakers, because it just feels like such a brazen celebration of creativity. But anyways, thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Also, don't be afraid to leave a comment below about anything. I love reading what you guys have to say, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.